this lesson today, we're going to focus on learning how to eliminate your brackets, fractions, and decimals. Brackets, decimals. So we have this thing in math, it's a special term called, let's make this red because it's important, distributivity. What does that mean? My goodness. Well, what it means is that when we have a term on the outside of the brackets, is we can distribute, multiply the term in, so it really means this. So let's use a numerical example. Okay, then we will take this 2 and we'll multiply it in. So it is really 2 times r plus 6 times 2 is equal to 2. So 2r is equal to 12 is equal to 2. Then we can solve the equation. Oops, that should be a plus. Where's my eraser here? There we go. All right, so that should say plus. Now we will, first step is subtract the 12 over from both sides. There we go. And then that'll leave us with 2r is equal to negative 10. We will divide by 2 to both sides. So r is equal to negative 5. Let's do another one. So 4s plus 4 is equal to 28. Take the 4 and multiply it in. Is equal to 28. 4s plus 16 is equal to 28. Subtract by 16. 4s is equal to 12. Then we will divide by 4 to both sides. So then we are left with s is equal to 3. Oh, here's a special one. Sometimes you'll have just a negative one. Remember that this really is a negative one. And we still need to distribute that in. So this becomes negative 1 times r, and minus 5 multiplied by negative 1 is equal to 10, or 5 multiplied by this. And then this negative and this negative work together. So negative r plus 5 is equal to 10. Then what we're actually going to do here is we're going to add the r to both sides. So the r becomes positive. So 5 is equal to 10 plus r. Then we will subtract the 10. So we are left with negative 5 is equal to r. Now that's just for dealing with brackets. Let's worry about fractions. Okay. So how do you get rid of a denominator? And we need to get rid of multiple denominators. So let's go like this. We have 1 half x plus 2 thirds is equal to 1/4. Well, what we need to do is we need to find common denominator. Okay, so let's see how this will work. We need to find one for between 4, 3, and 2. So I think the lowest common denominator here is we are going to try to find this one is equal to 12. So times 6 times 4 times 3. Now, this works very nicely to get rid of the fractions, but really what we want to do is not multiply it like this, but knowing that that's the least common denominator, is we need to multiply everything by 12, because that will reduce everything. Because this will reduce here to a 6, to a 4, and to a 3. Really leaving us with 6x plus 2 times 4, which is 8, equal to 3. We'll subtract by 8. 6x is equal to negative negative 5, and then we divide by 6. So we're left with x is equal to negative 5 over 6. Okay, so that's limiting fractions. The main thing is to find a common denominator, or the least common multiple. And that'll make it really, really easy to get rid of that denominator. The last thing is eliminating decimals. So decimals are based in fractions, so knowing that 0.1 is 1 over 10, or 1/10. 0.01 is 1 over 100, 1/100th, or 0.001 is 1 over 1,000. And the nice thing is that you just have to multiply in order to get rid of the decimal spot. So, for example, let's say we have 0.4x plus 0.6 is equal to 0.8. To get rid of all of these, if whatever you do to one part of these, you have to do to all. So if I multiply this by 10, I must multiply this by 10, and I must multiply this by 10. And that will leave me with 4x plus 6 is equal to 8. Then what we do is we subtract 6. 4x is equal to 2. And we divide by 2. Sorry, not by 2, by 4. By 4. And that leaves us with x is equal to 1/2. Let's do another one. I'm going to make my font blue this time because that's what I'm used to. 0.3x minus 0.06 is equal to 0.24. So in this one, we can see that we have one in the 10th spot, one in the 100th spot, and another one in the 100th spot. So the LCM is 100. So we'll multiply everything by 100 to move everything out of the decimal spot. So that'll leave us with 30 is equal, sorry, 30x minus 6 is equal to 24. So we will add 6. We'll have 30x is equal to 30, divide by 30, and x is equal to 1. Okay. Make sure to always solve for the variable in the practice questions that you're given, and they should be helpful. I'm going to do one more example with fractions. My goodness. How to distribute fractions. I should have done this earlier, but it's all good. So if we have an example, let's say 1/3, 5x minus 3 is equal to 1. We have to take this 1/3 and we have to multiply it in. So 1/3 x minus 1, sorry, multiplied by 5. Let's rewrite that. So it'll be 1/3 times 5x minus 3 times 1/3 is equal to 1. So this becomes 5/3. Just remember, it's like this, numerators with denominators, numerators with numerators, denominators with denominators, x, and this becomes minus 1 is equal to 1. We have to move this over first. Then I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. And that leaves us with x is equal to 6/5. So don't forget, there will be questions like this. They'll be a little bit more multi-step, but just remember to slowly distribute and go through, and you should be good to go.